Chosen Vessels, what's the deal? It's your main man Drutube, and I'm back at you again with another video. Let's get right into it. Your perfect self is emerging. All the work you're putting in is beginning to pay off. Be patient. Results are on the way. You have been going as hard as you possibly could, and you're not allowing anything to block your blessings, because you just, okay, all right, okay, I won't be using that one. You don't have time to play around, and you don't have time to waste. You don't have time to play around. Playing around is wasting time. Wasting time is something that you don't do. Wasting time is something that you never did. You stayed away from people that waste time. You avoid people that waste time. And you are not even having any business or anything to do with people who aren't on the same wave. All right, it's not time to be playing around. It's not time to be around those who aren't focused, those who aren't getting to the bag, those who aren't making their life better, those who aren't trying to take vacations, those who aren't trying to leave this matrix, those who aren't trying to exit that, those who aren't trying to get healthy, get wealthy, become successful. People who aren't in alignment with the things that you want to be in alignment with, the things you see for yourself, you're going to have to distance yourself from those people. You're only as rich as or as smart as your current friends. All right. So you may have to get some other groups. All right. There are some groups you may socialize with, and there may need to be some groups where you think with, talk business with, get leads to certain information, All right, so that way you could grow in every area of your life: health, fitness, finance, wealth, success, spiritually. If you're someone who wants more out of life, you're going to have to find and attract some people in your life who are where you would like to see yourself being, or where you consider yourself going. All right. Your perfect self is emerging. You have been grinding it out. You have been putting in hours. You have been putting in time, putting in days, weeks. You have been putting in months. There's something that you want, and you're not going to allow yourself to not get it. You're not going to live another day without working towards having it. All right, you feel so close, you can almost taste it. You feel so close, you can feel it in your hand. It feels like you're so close that it's already in your hands. It's already in your bank account. It's already in your driveway. The door is already unlocked to the brand new home. All right, the mansion. All right, whatever it is that you are seeing for yourself, you already see yourself as the one who has it. You already see yourself as the one who's with it. It's with you. All right, you see yourself possessing it. So your perfect self is emerging. You decided that you were going to put in a certain amount of work, a certain amount of work ethic in what it is you want to do. And you weren't going to stop until you started to see little bits and pieces of it start to manifest in your reality. You weren't going to let this dream go if it killed you. You weren't going to let this dream go if it meant that you had to let some things go, or let some people go. All right, you were going to break these curses. You were going to get all the toxic energy out of your life. You were going to better yourself by any means necessary. You were going to create the reality that you saw yourself living in, and you weren't going to let anything or anyone stop you. That's why your perfect self is emerging. You saw what you needed to do. You took a very careful use of your time. All right. You took advantage of the time that you had. You may have even lost some time, but you looked at your life and you said, you know what? I may have lost some time. I may not have been perfect. I may have done some things that weren't in my best interest, but you know what? I have to make up for that. And I'm going to use the time that I have left to the best of my ability. I'm not going to allow my time to be wasted by myself or by others. I'm going to hold it down for myself. I'm going to stay focused on myself. I'm going to stay focused on self-education. I'm going to stay focused on getting in this gym, getting myself healthy, all right, getting these greens, getting these vegetables, getting this fruit, getting my mind right, getting my prayer life right, getting my connection with God right. I'm getting all these things right because I know I'm headed to success and I know I'm headed for greatness. All right. I know that my perfect self is emerging and results are on the way. I'm not letting anything allow me to think otherwise. I know results are on the way. I know my best life is on the way. I know vacations are on the way. I know vacation homes are on the way. I know expensive trips are on the way. I know fancy things are on the way. I know the life that God created me to have is on the way. Results are on the way. Results are on the way for you. All right, you're putting in all the work you're putting in is beginning to pay off. All the work you're putting in is beginning to pay off. You're starting to see the payoffs. You're starting to see your good start to sprout. You're starting to see the seed bust open. You're starting to see the seed sprout and it's starting to bear it's starting to bear little fruit leaves. All right, so you start to have little fruit leaves. You see the tree growing sooner or later, and your season you will bear fruit. All you have to do is keep working, keep putting in effort. You don't want to quit. You don't want to give up. You don't want to be someone who looks at their life and looks at their dream and says, I could have, or maybe if I only. You don't want that to be you. The person that you want to be is the one that is focused as they could be, is the one that is going to put in the work even when they don't feel like it, is the one that's going to grind it out even when they feel they've done enough. Even when they feel there's no more to do. You're the type of person that's like, I'll just do one more just for the heck of it. I'll do one more just to keep my mind strong. I'll do one more just to keep my focus right. I'll do one more just to keep my head in the game. Your perfect self is emerging. You are about to live a life that you only dreamed of, a life that you could only imagine. Your life is about to get extremely better before you could even know it. All you have to do is keep doing what you're doing. All right. God wants me to tell somebody today that he sees you. He sees you going hard. He sees you doing your thing. He sees you manifesting your reality. He sees you creating your reality. Your perfect self is emerging. All right. Your goal in life is to become your greatest version. Your goal in life is to not need God for anything else because you realize that he put everything in you that is supposed to be there and you're going to use it to the best of your ability. Everything that was put in you, you're going to use it to the best of your ability. Everything that you were given, you're going to make the best of it. And you know that to be true. You know that to be true. You know that's what you're going to do with it. Your perfect self is what you always wanted to be. Your perfect self is what you always saw yourself being. Why do you think people will try to belittle you and pull you down? When you feel good about yourself, when you feel wealthy, when you know you're going to be rich, when you know God has his hand on your life and you're going to be blessed, it does something to your posture. Your demeanor is different. Your sense of self is showing. You're glowing. You feel good about yourself. Your energy is going to be different in the presence of others. All right. Success has a posture. Success has a facial expression. Success has a tone of voice. Success has a stance. Success has a walk. Success has a talk. People always knew that you were going to become successful. They always knew that it was going to be something great, magnificent, special, unique, amazing, life-altering, life-changing that you were going to do, that you were going to produce. They always knew it. Some of them couldn't even take it, and it came out as unfair or different treatment. But it is what it is. You can't fault them for that forever. You can't allow that to be your focus forever. You still have to be great. You still have to be successful. You still have to choose to win. You still have to. Your perfect self is trying to emerge here. Your perfect self wants to be your only self. Your perfect self wants to be who you are right now. Your perfect self wants you to become that now. Your perfect self is waiting on you. There's another reality right now where you're rich, where you're happy, where you're successful. It's waiting on you to join hands and start a love train. All right, so it's time to join hands and start a love train with your perfect self. All right, with your higher self, with your successful self, with your rich self, with your wealthy self, with your healthy self. All right, even if you gotta pretend to be what's her name, with the seven dwarves. All right, every dwarf represented a personality, and every dwarf was a different color, which represents the chakras, the light system that we all have within us. All right, so it's like each dwarf represented a different version of yourself. All right, so you have all these different versions of you. All right, which one are you going to be? I know you want to be your wealthy self, your healthy self, your rich self, your successful self, your happy self, your joyful self. I know you want to be those versions of yourself. Your perfect self, your the best version of yourself is all wrapped up in those versions of you are all wrapped up into one. Your perfect self, all right, the best version of yourself, and that's what you're becoming. You decided you didn't want to be average. You decided not to be mediocre. You decided to not want to live the same type of life every day and do the same boring things every day and drive the same car every day and live in the same state every day. You like to travel. You like new things. You like fancy cars. You like different types of places to eat. All right, you like to switch up the scenery. It's just who you are. You have God in you. He wants to experience all the great things that he created through you. Don't take that lightly. That vacation that you want to go on, that's God trying to nudge you to say, hey, let's take a break. Let's go on a vacation. We deserve it. We've been working. We've been grinding. We've been hustling. It's time for us to enjoy ourselves. Your perfect self wants to be known. Your perfect self wants to be seen. Your perfect self wants to take over. Your perfect self wants you and it to merge. Your perfect self is waiting on you so you both can live your best life. Your perfect self is the God in you. Your perfect self is God wanting to experience your life in you, through you, and as you. The best version of you is just it's so excited. It's at the end of the finish line. You have to see your perfect self at the end of the finish line with all the things that you have to do, all the things you have to accomplish. Once you get those done, you'll get to meet your perfect self. Have a conversation with your perfect self. Imagine meeting someone so successful that just being around them for a little bit will put you on so much game, so much information, a better life, a better hope, a better vision for yourself, a better reality for yourself. But imagine that person being you, because that's what it is. That person is you. All you have to do is educate yourself enough to get to the end of the finish line. All you have to do is produce enough projects to get to the end of the finish line. All you have to do is see enough greatness within yourself to get to the end of the finish line. Your perfect self is starting to come out and you can't help it. All right, your perfect self is starting to emerge. Your perfect self is starting to peak. All right, it's peaking. All right, your perfect self wants to be seen by you every time you look in the mirror. Your perfect self is waiting for you and it to become one. All right, you talking about twin, where have you been? Your perfect self is like, twin, where have you been? Your perfect self wants to help you get that bag. Your perfect self wants to see you in that new car, that new home. Your perfect self wants to see you in that new neighborhood. Your perfect self wants to see you going to the bank, making deposits, making withdrawals, getting paid, y'all. All right, getting paid. Your perfect self wants the best for you, because your perfect self is the God in you. Your perfect self is emerging. All right. It wants to come out. It wants to get this work done. It wants to be successful. It wants to live the life you know you deserve, the life you know you're worthy and deserving of. And the results are on the way. You're about to start seeing results like crazy. You're about to start seeing results like never before. You got results coming up to you out the woodwork. These results are about to start popping out the woodwork. You about to have results from all the work you're putting in. All that work you put in, all right, you didn't feel like it. You were too tired. You did it a million times already. You thought all those nights, all those days, all those afternoons, all those weekends when you could have been out partying with your friends or having a good time or going out to the movies or going out to eat, going out and having a good time. Going to concerts. You said, you know what? No, I'm going to hold it down. I'm going to educate myself. I'm going to focus. I'm going to put time into my skill. I'm going to put time into my dream. I'm going to enhance my goals. I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to work on some other things. I'm going to make sure that within the next few years, around the time where I feel that things should change for me, I can actually have not only feel, not only think, not only hope for those changes, but actually use the time I have right now to make those things happen. You can look into the future and see where your life is going by what you're currently doing today. You can look in the future and see where your life is going by looking at what you're currently doing today. You can create the life you want. You can have the life you want. You could be the person that you want. You just have to make use of the time that you have right now, this very moment. And your perfect self will start emerging. If you work towards becoming better each and every day, your perfect self will start emerging. If you tell yourself that my perfect self, my higher self, my creative self, my happy self, my rich self, my wealthy self, my joyful self is emerging, what do you think you're going to get? That you may not feel exactly how you would like to right this very moment when you start to change the way you think and change the way you feel, but over time it's going to make sense because you're going to realize that, wait a minute, there are some changes happening. I feel different. I'm thinking different. I'm speaking different. Things are starting to manifest in my life. I see the changes, even if they're small. I see the changes, even if it's something little. I see the changes, even if it doesn't appear to be much to somebody else. It's something to me. It matters to me. I see the difference to where I was last week to where I'm at now. And it's only been a week, but oh, it seems like a year. Shout out to Lil Wayne for that sample. Oh, it's been a week, but oh, it seems like a year. It's been a week. Like, yo, you have to get to know yourself to the point to where you put in a week's worth of work and it will advance you for a whole year. Some people are putting in a week's worth of work that advances them for a whole year. And they're just light years ahead of people. All the studying they're doing, all the work they're putting in. People are worried about what's on television. This is the third or fourth book they done read this week. This is the fifth project they done made today. This is the fifth meeting they had today. What do you want to do with your life is a question you have to continuously ask yourself. And where do you see yourself being is a question you have to ask yourself. Because if you will ask yourself those questions, it's gonna to motivate you to want to change, because you're gonna look at where you're at and you're gonna judge yourself based off of what you're currently doing. And if you continue to do what you're currently doing, if it's not in alignment with where you want to go, you're going to be scared, because it's what you're doing. Your actions aren't going to be leading you to where you want to go. And you know you deserve to go someplace great. You know you deserve to have the life you want. You know you deserve the best life a person could absolutely possibly live, because you only get one, and you might as well do it up and do the best you can and do the most you can with it, because that's what you're here to do. You're not here to be broke, stuck, stagnant, mad, sad, upset, hateful, in poverty. You're not meant to have any of those things going on in your life. Some of those things are natural occurrences. Some of those things you'll have to experience to get to better, but you're not meant to stay there. Those are like storms. It comes, but it shall come to pass. It hasn't come to stay. It has come to pass. And that's how you have to see negative situations in life. It hasn't come to stay. It has come to pass. It has come so you could learn, get a lesson, get some experience, get some wisdom, some knowledge, some understanding, and then better yourself and possibly even better the lives of others because of what you know now. And that's what it's all about. What is in you is different than what's in others. All right, your perfect self is on the way. The results are on the way. A better life is on the way. It doesn't matter what you're currently experiencing. If you want better, if you know that you can have better, if you feel you can have better, these things are going to come into your life. It's like a magnet pulling on a piece of metal. When you put a magnet near metal, it attracts to it. It has to come to it. It may take time to be pulled to it. All right. But the thing is, it's still going to attract. So if you will put the same level of focus in you to where you will get to where you want to go, you're going to get to where you want to go. All right. The amount of focus that you have, what you tell yourself on a consistent everyday basis, what you program yourself to feel about what you want to do with your life. These are all things that are going to magnetize you to what you want to be. They're going to keep you focused. They're going to keep you in alignment. They're going to keep your mind on the proper things, so that way you can get things done, and all those things will add up to where you're supposed to get, to where you're supposed to go, because you can't put your mind on anything else. You want to be able to focus on the things that you want. You want to keep the things that you don't want out of your mind as far away from you as possible, because those things are going to distract you. Those things are going to wear you out, make you worry, get you frustrated. All right. There are going to be things that happen that you don't want to happen, but you have to continue to keep your mind on becoming the best version of yourself, the best that you can do, the best you see yourself doing. You don't keep your mind on your problems where your problems are. If you keep your mind on your problems where your problems are, you're going to be stuck. And you don't want to be stuck. You want to be constantly moving forward. You want to be constantly elevating. You want to be constantly going to the next level. You don't want to be stuck. All right, because if you're stuck, you're not going to be able to become your best version. People that are stuck, they end up staying where they're at, and they don't end up moving forward. They don't end up making any progress. They don't end up getting anywhere. So working towards becoming your perfect version, your perfect self, allowing that to emerge within you, you'll never be stuck. It's always going to be something that you're working on. It's always going to be something that you're going to be improving on. It's always going to be something that you're willing and ready to fix and motivated to fix it. A lot of people have things that they know need to be done, know need to be fixed, and they're not motivated to get it done. You want a certain type of lifestyle. You see yourself living a certain type of lifestyle, and you're the type of person that's not going to stop until they get it. You'll keep working, 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 and you won't stop. It's something in you that is just not easily discovered in the average person. All right, they will end up trying to run tests on you. All right, they'll end up trying to do experiments on you just to find what it is you have within you that keeps you going, and it's your mind. All right, your perfect self is emerging, but it's all happening through your mind. You've told yourself that you were going to be the greatest. You told yourself that you were going to do your best. You told yourself that you could become the best person that you could be, and you believe these things. And now that you told yourself, that's basically making a decision. When you believe in it, that's believing in what you decided. Once you decided and believe it, you're going to start to see it. And then once you start to see it, it's going to start to become a reality, and you will feel like the person who's their best version. So it has to happen. That's why I referenced it to a magnet. You can't put a piece of metal to a magnet and it not attract. You can't tell yourself that you're going to become something and be successful and be great and it not happen. So your results are on the way. You've been working, you've been affirming, you've been telling yourself, you've been writing things down, you've been seeing things for yourself, you've been telling yourself that this is how it's going to be. There are people who told themselves that they were going to be living a specific lifestyle, and it actually happened. That's why, me personally, you'll always hear me say, I study success stories. I study what people do. I listen to people. I find the common running theme, the similar thing they all have in common, the same thing they all have in common. when it comes to their story, and because everybody was living in a abandoned place, and everybody was working at McDonald's for $7.75 a day, and everybody was walking from New York City to Texas, and everybody was everybody when it comes to successful stories. But it's the one thing that you'll find in common is they believed in themselves, they saw it for themselves, they decided what they want to do, they felt it could become a reality, they saw that it was possible, and they allowed their perfect self to emerge. They allowed themselves to become their greatest version. All right. They allowed themselves to put in a specific amount of work so that way it would pay off. Hard work pays off. You put in a certain amount of work, it's going to pay off. All right. And your hard work is beginning to pay off. You've been patient and results are on the way. I'd like to thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. We out.